Tuesday. Hi guys! So today is me uploading my YouTube video. I haven't done it in so long, and so basically this is me, and I'm just going over the palettes I'm going to be using. I'm definitely going for I actually didn't know what I was going for at this time. I just kind of really went with it, but I'm really happy with the results, as I'm sure y'all probably might be too. So for me, oh my god, I'm literally having a cough right now. But for me, I know when I like to do my really creative looks, I like to do a really big eyelid. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just emphasizing that inner corner because when you're applying eyeshadow to your eyelid, the inner corner is like one of the most important parts. So here I'm ensuring that my inner corners of my eyelid are fully covered. A lot of times the misconception about eyelids and eyelid palettes and just eyeshadow art is that the most important part, the parts that's going to be seen and has more space to be criticized the most, is the eyelid itself. But it's actually those inner corners because when you're taking pictures, those inner corners reflect the most in all angles as well as when people see you in real life. So be wary of that and mindful. And if you do end up doing this look or any of my other looks or just any creative eyeshadow lid looks in general, please emphasize attention to your inner corners. So here I'm I'm looking for my journal because I usually write my eyelid looks here, and that's the one I had decided to do today. I didn't actually low-key end up doing that. I ended up kind of going off base, but I was looking at the journal and then I just kind of started freehanding it. I was looking at what colors to add to my base, and here I'm just adding some blue to the inner corner as like I'm sure most makeup artists also say, so you don't really know what you're gonna do until you do it. Here, believe it or not, I was actually just improvising, because I just figure it's gonna look great anyway. So here I'm doing a bit of a gradient blue at the top of my eyelid. This is really just to emphasize that kind of like gradient look, that starry night galaxy type of look. I was inspired, I actually don't really know what I was inspired by. I was looking at the mirror for a couple seconds. I cut it out, but I was looking at the mirror for a couple seconds when I was doing my makeup and I was like, I should just. And I never know if it's gonna come out good or not. I mean, it always comes out great, but I really was just following my heart here, just kind of just doing like freehand. Makeup is a really therapeutic thing for me. So I was really happy with this outcome. And even when it doesn't look like conventional in the way that I thought. Here I'm doing a blue gradient into purple just because I felt like it. And it's a different shade than my base, but I knew it would look good because I was speaking from my heart. Makeup is an art. It's a very underrated art. People don't see it as an art, but makeup is an art and it's a therapy for me. So every time I pick out a shadow color from my palettes and decide on a more pigmented blue or purple or pink or yellow or green or orange, it heals something in me. And I hope by seeing this video, you guys get inspired to do some makeup as well. And I hope that heals something in y'all as well. So here I'm applying more purple. I'm doing it as kind of like a second base. So the pinkish purplish base, the one that we started with, that's our first base. And then the darker purple adds as it emphasizes, it's like a contrast to the pink base, and we add those blue accents in the corners to emphasize our already like navy dark blue. Once you do makeup for a while, you'll realize that you kind of have an eye for certain colors. Once you experiment with enough colors for a while, you'll realize what works well with what. And even if it doesn't like stereotypically or conventionally work well, you learn to maneuver certain colors around it so that it can work well. Like let's say green and brown. And someone might say, oh, but those are pretty complementary, to some extent. But if I say like a super cool tone green and a warm brown, off the top of the head, some people might say, oh, that doesn't work. But a makeup artist or an artist in any general with an eye for art and eye for color, they know how to make those things work, which is why here I'm adding a deep purple blue between the sky blue and the navy blue. This palette, hey, this palette, I'm using the Juvia's Place palette, which is why I'm having to add it so many times. I believe I'm using the Culture palette. I don't love the Juvia's Place Culture palette, but I would say it is phenomenal in making bright, vibrant colors. What's needed is knowledge on how to make sure those colors don't fade. I've noticed when I use the eyeshadow colors from the Culture palette on their own, they kind of fade into my skin, they don't stay, which is why I put a base. It's kind of like how an artist, a painter, would have a base color for their painting, you know, to emphasize and to make sure that everything they do from there on works. Low key, no tea, no shade, but this part, when I decide the makeup design I was gonna do, this was more significant than the Big Bang, and I'm not gonna argue with nobody. So basically, I had looked at the camera for a while. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I usually have all these ideas for makeup swirling around. And I thought, I'm doing like a cotton candy galaxy type of look. And I was like, why don't I play into that some more? So I'm doing some dots here. I was actually going to go for an alien look. When I had done these dots, I was like, okay, like I am Martian, you know? Because I was doing one dot on top, one dot on the other side, and then two dots on the bottom. But then I realized I can do much more. And all that to say, like, please, like, if you're doing makeup or like obviously in any endeavor, but because this is makeup video, I say like when doing makeup, if you ever have even like the slightest idea, this would look so cool, you know, or even if you're unsure about it, I would say just do it. Because if I like second guess myself, I would have never made like this amazing makeup look that this came out to be. So just keep believing in yourself. Makeup is an art, and art cannot be perfect. Makeup is messy, art is messy. It's not symmetrical, it has different lines, you know. Sometimes you might squiggle in a way that you didn't intend to. And of course, you know, you can always clean it up. I'm always pro, you know, clean it up if you don't like it. If you feel this nagging feeling, give yourself a chance to express that, you know? So here, I'm actually drawing like planet-like things. I was kind of stuck between planets and orbs. So here on the side, on my right side here, I done like a green orb, and I was like, I feel like I should do something like similar. And so I was really drawn to that orange color. And you see here, you see how that orange pops come through Juvia. And I know I had said that me and Juvia was not on the best of terms, but it came through when I needed it to. Like, do you see that? That's green, that green orange, that's both Juvia come through just for this rare occasion. Thank you for coming through. But here, I decided to do an orange dot in the middle, then do like a yellow dot on the other side, just kind of like calling back to each other, so it's like they complement each other. Here, I literally was just thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then it hit me. And so I was doing a cotton swab hack, which is basically where I use a cotton swab to make dots all over my face, just because a cotton swab has a really circular end, so I'm able to better make those dots. As you see here, servant face, ooh, bow, bow, bow. And so I'm doing this. I ended up doing a gray eyeshadow. I'd used white to do the dots. I decided to do gray because I realized it was going to make it more like opaque, more vibrant, more easier to see. So here I'm just going over all those dots in the gray color. Calling back to what I had said prior, that inner corner is important, y'all. And so that's just me being excited about what I'm going to do after the inner corner. But that inner corner is important. I had put highlighter on the inner corners of my eyelid as well as parts of the planets, just because I felt like if it's supposed to be a planet on my face, it's going to reflect and sparkle, and it's going to be like so chic. So I decided to do that, and now I'm actually using the pink for, I decided I kind of wanted to do like a moonlight, like a red, what's the thing, like a crescent moon, a red crescent moon, you know, like a red moon with a like, oh please, I ate so bad. And here I'm re-adding the gray to do like, I don't know, I was adding highlight as well as gray to the moon. I was really focused on that dot right there. Like that dot right there, I was adding grays, I was adding whites. Like I wanted it to give like solar galaxy, not from this world. Like I wanted it to glow in just a way that seemed unnatural, you know? And so here I'm applying the dots again. They were like low-key fading, but then I had put my setting spray, and so after this I didn't have to redo my dots anymore, luckily. No guys, I'm not wearing highlighter yet. My face was just sparkling like that naturally. I know, it's crazy. So here I am applying the dots. Let me tell y'all something. I was so darn excited. Like, I was low-key rushing to put the dots because I was so excited to finally draw with the... I ended up using face paint actually. I used to use eyeshadow before in my earlier makeup days, but I realized it wasn't as precise as I wanted to be. Here, I was using the paintbrush to try and do like a ring around the planet, kind of like a Saturn vibe, but it's blue, so kind of like a Saturn Neptune love baby. And it was doing it. It was not perfect, but as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest and sincere. So I personally loved it. I think it not being super precise and stuff kind of gave its own unique touch to it. And so here I am just cleaning it up and trying to make sure that, because I feel like when I had made the ring, I did it a little too close to the bottom. So there I was trying to add a bit more blue under it, clean up the ring. After cleaning up the ring, I had really just stopped to surface and admire my beat because it just looks so nice, y'all. And it's not even so nice, it's just like putting all that effort into it and seeing how amazing and beautiful it is, how it glistens. I'm hardly even done. It's really rewarding. So I also added some stars. I didn't end up recording it just because I was in an entirely different area. I went to my bathroom and went to my bathroom's mirror to really try and get like locked in on those stars because it's kind of hard, y'all. It's kind of hard to do at your table desk in your dorm room. So here I am doing some underlines under my eye to really emphasize that kind of like Milky Way type of vibe. Here, like at this point forward, I was really like Milky Way inspired. And I was really just feeling it. Like I was feeling the whimsigoth, I was feeling the Milky Way, I was feeling the trues and cools and blues. Like it was time. So with this underline I had drawn, I feel like it also emphasized under my eyes, it brought attention there. So here I am saving face again. And so here at this point, I actually end up trailing the under eye line to create a bit of a shape under my eye. And here I am actually just mixing it. Before I begun to like make the shape, I'm really particular actually. I'm really particular about my colors. So as you see here, I was mixing for a couple seconds. But here I actually end up trailing that under eye white line to make a bit of a shape. And it had just come to me naturally because here I had no idea what I was doing. In past makeup looks, I have connected like my under eye line to make like a swirl or something. But then I was like, this is a galaxy, starry, milky type of inspiration. So why don't I play on that to its high extent? So here I am doing a star. It's so cutesy. It was kind of hard to do. The star itself wasn't hard, but making a precisely pointed star was, because it's just kind of like, how much further am I going to keep going and pointing outward before I have the star covering half my face? So I was just really silent. Like during this part of the video, I was intensely silent. And it came out great, of course, but it was a lot. So here on the other side, when I was doing this part, I actually low-key started feeling like a little Twitches vibe, like Twitches too. Like I was feeling like I'm about to go cast some spells. Like I was feeling like I was about to go play some Fleetwood Mac. No shade. So I was like, why don't I just do two types of stars? In the time when I was drawing this, I was like, oh my god, this is so Twitches. Like this is so both the sisters. Whole time, one of them was a sun, one of them was a moon. I don't know. I don't know where I was going, but I would say this crescent moon child. This crescent moon was the hardest part of the whole look because oh my god, it's like it's not quite a C. It's not too deep. It's not too outward. You have to kind of just flow with it, and you can't flow with it too much because if you flow with it too much, it's going to become too big or too narrow or too pointy. And if it's any of those things, you have to clean it up precisely. And with the shape of, like, as you see here, I'm trying to clean it up as I go so I don't end up getting stressed out. And you see, even here, cleaning it up like that, I was granted that because of how quick I was in the moment. If I had done that, like, later on in the look, Child, child would have been a mess. But girl, I was getting close to done with that crescent moon. Like, she was starting to like, I'm not gonna say she was trying to irritate me, but it's like, okay, like we're getting to a point now. Let's stop. So, yeah, I'm just doing this crescent moon and trying to make sure I don't mess it up, you know. Eventually, there I go, like I'm sitting here encouraging myself. I was giving myself a pep talk the whole time. But eventually, like halfway through, I was like, it's a moon at the end of the day. Like, it's just gonna have to look good. I love that clip. I was just like looking at the mirror. But yeah, I just feels like it's gonna have to, like, you know, whether it looks precise or not, you, with your eyes and your brain, you can tell that it's a moon. And that's what matters. So, here I am, finished touch. I ended up looking over it. It just looks so cute. So that's what I'm doing. And then so I ended up adding some colors because as I told y'all, it's my third time. Those inner corners do not play. I ended up getting some highlight eyeshadows because there's no sparkle on my eyelid. For me, one of my makeup signatures, I love to have a sparkly eyelid. So this is me just like looking through the Juvia's Place Culture palette and seeing what shimmers I want to use. Here I apply it and you can literally see the difference on camera that it makes. Like, it just looks so beautiful and gradient. Like, it's literally like the freaking universe coughed me up and placed me on earth to cast spells every full moon. And it's just like, do you see how I'm serving, you know? So as you can see, I used a shimmery purple for that purple emphasis, but for that inner part that had started off as a pinky purple lid, I wanted to keep it light, but I also wanted to blend it in. So here I am actually using the whitish highlighter and I'm blending that in with the purple so it's not just like stacked up on top of each other. It's so beautiful, guys. I really hope that someone sees this and they hope to recreate. And I really hope that y'all are enjoying this video so far. I also remembered to end up doing it on my under eyes. As you can see, the emphasis, the highlight that it has in that natural glow. And that's just light. So I ended up doing my eyeliner, a little transition. And so this is me with the eyeliner. Super cutesy. I put some dots under my eyes. So I was actually running late to class, so I had to rush and get dressed. But here's the final result. This is how it ended up looking all together. I ended up doing a purpley, glowy, glittery lip and I really am in love. Let me know what y'all think. Ended up going to class. Thank y'all so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.